Timothy Bradley says that Devin Haney does not have enough skill for Lomachenko, and also Timothy Bradley believes that Floyd is basically not letting Tank fight the big fights with any other guys. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. Back on this boxing talk again. So we got some interesting news as former champion at welterweight Timothy Bradley has some comments like usual on fighters, and we're gonna get into this in this video. But anyway, guys, I want to talk about how disrespectful that ESPN and Top Rank are. These guys are completely disrespectful. I'm going to go over this list and real quick, and then we're going to jump into the Timothy Bradley situation. There was a list. If you guys didn't watch the fight on pay-per-view or ESPN's Plus last night, they had a list on who are the best top 5 lightweights in the, well, they had a long list, but the best lightweights in the division. They had George Kambosos as number 1. He's the unified champion, but I don't think he's deserved to be number 1. They had Lomachenko at 2, who has took 2 losses against the journeyman Orlando Salido and Teofimo Lopez. 3, they had Gervonta Tate Davis, and 4, they had Devin Haney, and 5, they had, I can't remember the whole list, but out of those guys, people, Lomachenko at 2, are you serious? He's not even a champion. He lost to a journeyman Orlando Salido, and ESPN tried to cover up that loss like it never happened. And then he lost to Teofimo Lopez. So I don't understand how you got 2 multi-division champion with the Gervonta Tate Davis and a champion right now in Devin Haney at over Lomachenko. Are you kidding me? And you can put George Kambosos at number 5 because this biggest name he fought is Teofimo Lopez, even though he's the champion, no disrespect. But really, ESPN? But anyway, guys, let's get into the video. Timothy Bradley states that Devin Haney is not skilled, right? He says he can't fight on the inside. If he gets hit too close, he's going to get hit with a big left hook and he's going to get knocked out. Okay, well, first of all, Devin Haney is not an inside fighter. So the fans was calling for him to fight on the inside when he fought against Jorge Linares because people were saying his style is boring. Well, first of all, Devin Haney is trying to make sure he please the fans as much as possible. But you know how the racism in boxing is towards the black, Mexican, and all other colors of fighters. You guys know the simple deal in boxing. And Devin Haney, you know, that's not his specialty. Devin Haney, you'll never really see him fight on the inside against anybody because that's not who he is. Devin Haney is a pure boxer. He has pure boxing ability. He has all the tools in the world. The only thing that he doesn't have is the power. So I don't understand why Timothy Bradley is so biased on certain type of fighters with a high level skill. Well, first of all, Timothy Bradley, the reason why I believe Timothy Bradley is like this is because when he beat Manny Pacquiao, he had all sorts of hate, racism messages saying all this and that, and I'm not going to go over it, but you know I know the situation. And then when he fought Pacquiao again, he wanted to lose. Like, he wanted to lose. So Timothy Bradley, you just a disgrace of a man because you fought the best of the best in your division, and you was getting feeling some type of way because you didn't want to beat certain fight. Man, I don't even want to get into it, but Timothy Bradley is absolutely wrong. Devin Haney is a most skilled lightweight. He is the best lightweight in the division because nobody wants to see him fight him. But let me ask you guys this question. If y'all say that Devin Haney has no power, he can't punch, like Devin Haney said in an interview on BFTB Boxing, if I'm such an easy check, why you won't come fight me? If I have no power, why you don't want to fight me? Because you know why? Devin Haney will make them look bad. That's why these top lightweights don't want to fight him. That's why you see George Kambosos flip-flop and say, oh, I want Lomachenko next. I want this guy next. He doesn't want Devin Haney. George Kambosos Jr., he said he would want to fight Devin Haney, but the business of boxing has gotten into the way. George Kambosos Jr. and Lomachenko, what are those guys? Lou the better fighters. It's a higher chance for those guys to fight rather than Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr. But in order for the fight to happen between the two both is that they need to Eddie Hearn needs to give George Kambosos the biggest payday to make that fight happen. But it seems to me Eddie Hearn doesn't care. And it seems to me that we might see Devin Haney move up eventually if these guys don't want to see him to fight him. It makes no sense. Why does Devin Haney has to move up to fight better competition and get the big fights? And he can do that in a division and clean out the 135 division and do the same thing going up. But I don't understand why nobody wants to fight Devin Haney. If this guy has no power, if this guy is such an easy paycheck, why you guys want to fight him? Because you know why these guys don't want to fight him? Because Devin Haney makes him look bad with his style. But I'm not going to keep this video too long. Let's get into the next subject, guys. So, back on Timothy Bradley again. Timothy Bradley stated that Gervonta Tank Davis, with the situation, you guys know the situation with Floyd Mayweather, that Floyd Mayweather is blocking certain fights, that he's not going to allow Lomachenko, all the other top lightweights to fight Gervonta Tank Davis because Floyd doesn't want to fight. Well, we don't know what Gervonta Davis wants to do. It's up to Gervonta Davis' career, but I see why Floyd is blocking these fights. Floyd is just taking the route for Gervonta Tank Davis, the route he took, just fighting a bunch of Mexican top fighters, and maybe he can get the same value within Gervonta Tank Davis, close to what Floyd Mayweather has accumulated in his career. It's not the case in 2021. Closing the year out 2022 all the way up to the end of Gervonta Tank Davis' career. It's not that situation. It's not that easy. I don't know why Floyd is preventing Gervonta Tank Davis from fighting the best, because Gervonta Tank Davis, when he fought Isaac Pitbull Cruz, now I will say this, guys, that fight, okay, Gervonta Tank Davis was piecing Isaac Pitbull Cruz up, but we have to look at Isaac Pitbull Cruz is not a fighter to be taken lightly. He has a similar Mike Tyson style. He's very defensively responsible sometimes, but he does lack on certain things on his offense. Like sometimes he just be throwing hooks, caution in the wind. That's very dangerous because he can get knocked out. But you guys have to admire Isaac Pitbull. He wants to fight. He doesn't care who it is. He comes to fight. I see why he's close to one of the top lightweights. I respect Isaac Pitbull Cruz. He doesn't care. He wants all the smoke, and he was giving Gervonta Tank Davis a tough time. But we know the situation with Gervonta Tank Davis breaking his hand. If Gervonta Tank Davis let's say he never broke his hand, I still don't think he would knock out Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I think Isaac Pitbull Cruz, if they do decide to rematch, I think Isaac Pitbull Cruz is going to try to do something different to wear down Gervonta Tank Davis. But we have to admire Gervonta Tank Davis' ring IQ as well. When Gervonta Tank Davis broke his hand and he couldn't utilize his power, what did he use? He started to use his boxing ability, his ring IQ, all the fundamentals in boxing that Gervonta Tank Davis is good at. So with that being said, guys, Timothy Bradley says that Gervonta Tank Davis will never get the big fights due to Floyd Mayweather. That could be true, okay? It could be true. But we seen Gervonta Tank Davis at a point where he was fed up. Hey, look, Floyd, we got to make something happen. We got to get these big fights. Gervonta Tank Davis was getting fed up with it, but that's not a smart business move on Gervonta Tank Davis, because when you with a guy within Floyd Mayweather, he's really the guy that brought out your star status. And it's hard for a guy like Gervonta Tank Davis to leave Floyd Mayweather, because when Gervonta Tank Davis fought Isaac Pitbull Cruz, look how many stars Gervonta Tank Davis brought. He brought a lot of big stars in big sporting events that play basketball, football, and all sorts of type of sports. Gervonta Tank Davis is a big star. We got to admire that. But we can't say that Gervonta Tank Davis is not going to fight the best dude, Floyd Mayweather. I think Floyd Mayweather wants to continue to develop Gervonta Tank Davis to see if he can really hang with these big guys. Now, we don't know if Gervonta Tank Davis can beat the best opposition, but I believe he can. You know, Floyd might have an easy route for Gervonta Tank Davis to take, but I think Gervonta Tank Davis can't wait too long either, because he's older than these guys. If he waits all the way up to his mid-30s or whatever not to fight Devin Haney, which in Shakur Stevenson, or any of these guys that's getting seasoned in their career and being the best of the best, and Gervonta Tank Davis is starting to wind down in the sport of boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis might not have a shot to beat Devin Haney or Gambosis Jr. or Teofimo Lopez, well, maybe Teofimo Lopez, but who knows? Any of those top lightweights, Gervonta Tank Davis might not be able to beat him, because we have to see him start to fight the best opposition, because Gervonta Tank Davis is not a young man himself. I know I lied to you guys. I said I was going to keep this video short, but I had to state this with Timothy Bradley. So, with the recap, Timothy Bradley says that Devin Haney needs to get some skill. He's not ready for Lomachenko. And also, he says that Floyd is preventing Gervonta Tank Davis from fighting the top lightweights in big fights in the sport of boxing. But guys, with that being said, it is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.